going to dive right into our um, the next part of our introduction to our advanced field worker training course. I'm very happy to see Brother Moore.
That's what this is.
And I think we have people trickling in from the field here and there, as it will be. We Sister Tricia, happy to see you back. And you brethren on the Zoom, even though I don't know everyone who is on right now, I'm not seeing your names and so on. We appreciate you very much. And you're very much a part of it, even if you're on the tape delay, as it were. That is very important. Sharing out of that. But, all right. Let's kneel for a word of prayer to begin.
Our Father, we thank you for this day you have given us. As we come to the period for our study hours, we ask that you, through the aid of thy Holy Spirit, you get our minds and hearts right so we may comprehend what is said. We thank you for the teachers, for the material you have for us at this time. Be with us all. Help us to understand the time we are in and the things we need to do. Be with the teacher now as we open this session. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay, so Sister Julia and Brother Kira are monitoring the chat, and you brethren on the Zoom or on tape delay. I guess tape delay is a little archaic, but who are reading it, following with us in other time zones and other times. As you have a comment or question posted in the class WhatsApp group, and if it's live, if your question comes in right now, we will try to deal with it. Okay, so if you have questions right now, or as we go along, put them in on the group, and it's Sister Julia and Sister Brother Tira who will be looking at that. We want to have the microphones already distributed, and not quite. Okay, so
we're good.
Watch where the microphones are. Pay attention so that you can, if you want a microphone, you can get it with the minimum. But you know what? To begin with, it's just as well for Brother Kira to have a microphone and Sister Julia, and they're just the repository. Okay. And then there should be another one in the center there, perhaps Brother Courtney or so. All right. Our theme is we must be living epistles of what we believe. We understand why that is so important, and we're going to be talking about what that entails. Okay, the nuts and bolts. That's of what that entails. So not just witness to brethren or and so on. Encouraging sermons and so on are very beneficial. There is a time and place and use for all these different things, and it's general encouragement and enthusiasm and building and so on. Those things are important, and I don't think they aren't. But this is the nuts and bolts of how do we do these things? How can we become living epistles of what we believe? And the answer, of course, is in the message. We must work in a systematic, scientific way to do this. Now, scientific in this sense of the word does not mean with a laboratory and microscopes and all sorts of what you would associate in your mind with scientific. The scientific method is what Brother Hanif is talking about. The scientific method is a way of systematically, step by step, doing things, okay, in a certain way. That's what is talking about here when we say this scientific way. So, and we access the latest findings in science. Science rightly understood, and the true science is the knowledge of the universe, what God has created, the individual uh, 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 information about our body, biology, nature. All of these things are true science, and they're all very appropriate and necessary information for us to use, access as we need to, as we have a use. We use prayer, study, meditation, neuroscience, and all other true science to accomplish this end. Okay, we're going to start at the end at the bottom here today. This is the 2025 Advanced Field Worker class schedule. Okay, so we will normally cover 4 courses per week. You have 4 courses, it's a heavy load. Luckily, you have 4 hours a day to carry that load. Okay, you have 4 hours plus. By the way, we are 8-hour plus workers, and it's a different way of thinking about it. And not everybody is ready to be a 8-hour plus worker for the Lord. Okay, we understand that. Those who have children, they're not able to do that exactly. We talked about, we have touched on the fact that our older retired people, and everyone else, by the way, have to conduct themselves in a way that is appropriate for their age and health situation. So that we understand that not everyone is able to follow exactly the same schedule. And for those people who have personal concerns and needs that have to be addressed, we have to pay attention to those things. That's fine. Okay. And this includes mission house workers and some field workers. Brethren, we're not giving all field workers in the field a universal pass on this. We are requiring all field workers to participate to the greatest extent of their ability, and it needs to be a great extent. And for those who time has hit the wall, you have hit a brick wall on your time, we understand that. Also, we have to prioritize. There are going to be times when you have meetings and responsibilities that you can't miss. Or if you are a mission house worker, you have a 8-hour plus job. And an 8-hour day job is really plus also with commute time, preparation time, whatever. That's going to have to take priority, those hours. But to the extent that you are able to, we do want you to be part of these things. And I want everyone to keep in mind, everyone, and our brethren who are auditing the class, we welcome you, by the way, and I'm not sure the new folk who happen to be on today or watching this, we welcome you and value you highly. But I want you to keep in mind that this is not the last course. This is a first course, as it were, for our advanced training, field worker training that will be going out. You will have other courses. In fact, the other courses will be both more concise and more intense and more focused. So there's other opportunities to do. Don't feel like you have one opportunity and no other. Okay, so but the field workers who are able to attend, it is required. Okay, it's part of your work. And now your schedule it needs to be adapted to this. Half of your day needs to be spent on this when you're able to do that. If you have other assignments that take priority, it does for the moment. But let's say that you are a field worker assigned to work in Florida, just for an example. Who would be assigned to do that? If you have 4 hours a day when you're not doing anything, this is the thing that you're doing. Okay. And if you are, if you have a meeting, an engagement, that takes priority. This is how it is for everybody in every country. Not just counting the country of Florida, but every country. This is how we do. All right. We will normally cover 4 courses per week. That gives us a bit of leeway room where we can do more, or we can cram even. We can do less, or we can cram even more into the schedule. But anyway, we will have 2 one-hour classes every day and 2 hours of practical training and service 4 days a week. Now, I didn't quite get that down clearly yesterday, but remember, we are 8-hour plus workers, and once you add up the numbers there, and once all the numbers are in, and you will notice that period 2 is blank on the schedule. But once you get all the numbers in, they will add up to 8 hours plus. We promise you, and it is half of our time, 4 hours or so, are going to be work time, and 4 hours or so plus will be study and service time. Everything is going to be flexible for us here at headquarters, just as it is already, as we said, flexibility in the field. There will be an opportunity because of the way the class is being put out. If you miss a class, you can catch the class. Okay, so there's no reason everyone can't, in the end, be marching together, all in its different separate way, path, but we are all marching together without falling behind and without getting ourselves into any problems, thrusting ourselves in any way. Okay, so the first period, the first is divided. We have 4 days, and we divide the 4 days into 2 and 2. Okay, the first 2 days are Monday. Class days are Monday, Wednesday, and then we have on the other side Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, period 1 on is 8 to 9, training and service. Okay, period 2 we're leaving blank for now. Next year there will be a new schedule. We will put in those numbers as we know the numbers. We don't know the numbers right now. Those things will be based on how our budget goes. Okay, to be honest, our budget goes. In an ideal world, we would be getting 12 hours of service and work out of everybody. But we will just see, and it will probably be about 4 hours and 4 hours. Okay, probably. But we can't really say for sure. But I would say it's going to be something like that. What you need is a microphone, of course, to speak. So let's hear what we have to say. In an ideal world, we have a camera operator which is operating the camera. We should look into a pan and tilt thing. There should be, as I think about it, there should be a system where the camera will follow the microphone. But we don't want to pay for that. But anyway, okay, go ahead, Sister Sharon.
Trevor, you said from 8 to 9, okay? And then from 3. So we're thinking that in the office you work like 5 hours.
Your hours are going to stay the same right now, whether you're there or here. And that's a good point. I'm glad that you called attention to that. It's okay. Remember that field workers are being paid their full normal salary, and we're asking them to, in the field, wherever, we're asking them to spend half of their time as possible on work and half of the time on this, okay? Same thing here, okay?
Why,
It won't affect your work, your reported hours. Send in your regular reported hours, like 5 hours. Even if 5 hours were spent down here, you will still report 5 hours for the day.
yeah,
And by the way, that's important. And if your regular hours are 4 or whatever, you report it. Okay. And if your regular hours are 6 or 8, you will report it like that too. Okay, we're not changing your work hours, your paid work hours. Exactly.
yeah, the pay work hour is not that. Thank you for doing that, but what I'm saying. So what if we want to, like the chief and I saying, if we want to go work for another hour and a half? Not with pay hours, but to finish up what we have. Is
You
that
just
okay?
ask if you can break the law. And I'm going to take that up with Sister Kachita. It's a serious thing. Okay? All right. Sorry, but why would you do that at this late date? Why would the issue even come up? Okay, sorry about that, but you brethren need to understand that we do obey the law, not just when it's convenient, but we obey the law automatically. Okay, the law of Caesar. Okay, let's move on now.
Thank you.
Okay, no, it's not a big thing. Okay, I really, Sister Kachita is going to get in trouble.
Press the button.
All right. We have period 3 from 3:10 to 4 o'clock. Now, here we start at 3:10 for the class, and your time stays the same. And keep that in your memory. Okay, for later, it will be, if we're working 4 hours, it will be 4 hours. Okay, but right now your time stays the same, and there's a reason for that. We haven't changed our work schedule here at Base. Work schedule remains, and I do need to review that for the new year and so on. And we will do the best we can for people, but all of us, myself, all of us, we all take a set back seat to the needs of the work. And because we are sacrificial field workers, in truth, you brethren have very good-heartedly put up with changing the wages, even more than Laban changed Jacob's wage. I hope I'm not Laban, but we had to do what we had to do, and everyone understands that. Okay, so we will now in the world they have another system for this, by the way. They will select the most productive blah blah workers. They have their reviews and criteria, and they will throw away the rest. Okay, you understand that? We made that decision not to throw away anybody, and there's good reasons. There's spiritual, moral reasons, practical reasons, and we don't you are removed from the workforce. We had to have a reduction, and the other people continue to get the higher salary. Okay, it would work out from a work point of view the same if we wanted to arrange it that. Okay, so we will have period 3. We start at 3:10. And that gives us time, finish your work, finish your assignment at 3, and then move over. And we have time to come. We have 50 minutes here for each class. The first class is going to be management and administration training. And it's really religious management. And I need to put that in, religious management and administration training. for field workers, okay? Period 4, from 4:10, we'll end at 4, but there'll be a 10-minute intermission. And then 4:10 to 5, the upward spiral, learning advanced self-regulation. Tuesday and Thursday, we have period 3, doctrinal teachings of the message, okay? Ovation. We teach the message, but we need to be clear that we're doctrinal teachings of ovation. Why? It's present truth that the flock need now. We teach Carmel, but we don't stop at Carmel. Carmel stops at Carmel, and they didn't teach ovation. So there are things that we teach in the message, from the message, embedded in the message, but present truth that comes past that. Okay, so doctrinal teachings of the ovation, and that's an important understanding that I think all field workers already understand, but there are lay people who don't. Did we stop at the tomb of the dead prophet? Is it false when Brother Hadif said that we need to have inspiration, that we need to have a prophet in the church continuing? Is it false? Was that part of the message false? Or do we have present truth for our time continuing on? Okay, and I know that the field workers, you understand this, but there are members who don't fully understand this, and they all patient brethren need to understand this. We have to teach these things. Period 4:10 to 5, field training and teaching methods. Okay, this will be the fourth period. Okay, now there'll be 2 class lectures every week on each course. So you have your 2 class room lectures, and that's the end of it. You don't have to worry about it for the rest of the week. Not so. Okay, it'll be an intensive mental exercise for everyone, because you will be given a large amount of work to do. Your class time is important time, but you will have assignments. You will have reading assignments. You will have other assignments. There will be tests. It's a very busy time coming up, and very good time too. Okay, and the end result is real learning, deep learning, and learning that will stay with you in different ways. For instance, you will have PowerPoints, you will have class notes, you will have the presentations, the lectures, and those things need to be regarded as authoritative. The things that are put out need to be regarded as authoritative. And I want to make a note on this. If you find something being said that you don't understand and you think is a significant thing, it is very important to bring that up and let it be dealt with. It is important. We are not speaking here to the wind. We are speaking here, all of the teachers, all of us, we're speaking with full authority, ovation. Now, no human is perfect, and sometimes people misspeak. Sometimes we need to go back and correct what is said, refine what is said, or whatever. But we want that brought up. If there's something said that is apparently clearly wrong, and but Courtney or Brother Gene have some doctrinal teachings that you are not familiar with, I'm just using you as a whipping boy. Don't worry. It's Brother Trevor. People will have concerns about. But if there is concerns, bring it up. But let's bring it up. It's real. And sometimes there is a case where, and I've told this story before. Brother Bingham put out a thought on the divinity of Jesus, and he put it out pretty definitely. and in a study on Sabbath, and then he really clarified what was the correct understanding the next week. Do you remember what I'm talking about, Gene and Sister Carol? I say for us old time, it's a well remembered situation, and everything was done correctly and right. Okay, the end result was correct. Okay, and so if we do come up with points that need to be checked and refined, it needs to be done. Okay. Now, normally, if we say something, it's going to be something that has been considered. Even if we seem to say something off the cuff, it's something that we've been thinking about and have considered carefully. Normally, okay. But if there should be something, we need to talk about it. But the bottom line is the end result is authoritative, Greg. It is what we're saying, and you have to understand that we have to put these things into use and use these things in the field, in your work, in your teaching. And it's present truth that the flock needs now. It's present truth that we need right now. Okay, so this is the okay. Any questions on the schedule and so on? Let's review. There is that mysterious period 2 there. But that is the truth of period 2 for us here at headquarters is if we go down to 4 hours a day, that would be work time perhaps from it could be there could be some changes here precisely how we do this. It could be that we come back to work from 1 to 2, and then period 1 would be from 2 to 3. Okay. So I'm just showing you how that could work. Where that period, where that period 2 is. It will be. We haven't been. We don't know for sure just what our work hours will be, but my guess is we're going to 4 hours or less, rather. Okay, we've been given. We have. And this is a benefit at headquarters. Where you have no cafeteria charges. And there was a reason why we started that, by the way, originally. Okay, it was for people who make sure they got enough food. Okay, and so you see, I'm giving you a heads up here. You will have enough food. You know, if you have food and a place to sleep, what more do you need in the end? Okay, right this minute. Okay, so. Field training, okay, so those things will go into effect. This class schedule will go into effect on Monday. Coming up Monday, we will be doing these things. Before I move on, last chance. Any questions? Any can come back later. Yeah.
Microphone.
Yeah, let's include everybody all the time. You should keep, no, you know what? He needs to keep one now that you have it ready. You're centrally located as well.
I was just thinking about first session, 8 to 9 in the morning, what exactly that entails.
Service. Okay. Training and service. In some cases, it might be a service to our family. Okay. In some cases, under special circumstances, it could be other things. Most appropriately and ideally, it's other things. It could be that Sister Patricia's physical training class is running down the road at 8 o'clock, things like that. Okay, or walking down the road. But that's there will be training and service. Okay, that's what we mean by training and service. And service to our family is to small children is not optional. However, ideally, we are going to be engaging in service projects to others. Okay. Now, don't take this personally at all, what I'm about to say, and nobody else take this personally. The Catholic Church does have half a good point. Paul had a completely good point about not getting married. You see where I'm going. When you have children, you have responsibilities, and that's good, as we talked about. But it's also good not to have this if you want to go all out for the Lord right now. Now, there's a second level, though. We have to obey the Lord. We keep the Sabbath to the very best of our ability. We really do. Okay, and we keep the marriage ordinance to the best of our ability, and it's not optional. There's other reasons, but a practical thing, we want to advance and we've kind of talked about this a little bit. We want to advance the idea of married Davidian clergy. We want to advance the thought that ideally, and we can't go back in time and change things before we were full Patient Davidians and so on, and before we were called to the field work and so on. You can't change the past. But ideally, and especially for you young brethren and sisters, by the way, okay, who are with us, ideally, we are advocating a married Davidian clergy where both are field workers, both are ministers. And that should not be so startling concept to Davidians. Where have we heard about that first? We're going to have men and women in the 144,000, presumably married couples as well, who are both priests and ministers. Okay, that's the way it's going to be. If you're in the 144,000, you are a priest and minister, and if you're married to another person, another Davidian who is sealed, they are going to be a priest and minister. We have full authority to move in this direction of a married clergy. We don't have only full authority. It is a requirement in the end, okay, to have a married clergy in the end, okay? It's ideal, but everything doesn't happen instantly, and not everybody is on the same track and shouldn't try to do things instantly out of order. And some people will only be fully in line with these things in the kingdom, okay? And we understand that. So that we're not telling anybody anything new, except that we do want to teach this thought, a married clergy, a married field worker clergy. And we want you to think about that, okay? This is our standard as Davidians. We understand Paul's reasons for not leading a Christian wife around. We understand that. But we would have been a big inconvenience to both of them and to the work. But for us, times have changed for a number of reasons. We in our day and age, for various reasons, and because of the message has brought advanced understanding, and because the woman's role is being restored to the Edenic level, women are moving from a submissive servant status to full equality with the man. Now, full equality is that people like the idea, I'll be equal and so on, but it's equal responsibility too, equal duties to the Lord, equal expectations on the part of the Lord for it. I'm just a woman. I don't have to go to this jungles of Africa or this or that. Okay, but the Lord is not going to say, you don't have to do that. You're just a woman. Okay, the women moving forward, the women workers need to understand that they have to be strong and of good courage, able to go and do and dare, like David and all the rest. Okay, we want a lot of Deborahs here. Okay, and many others. Okay, so
Ready, Trevor? Sorry,
Yeah.
can you long hold the power button on the bottom?
What?
Long press the power button?
It's not on?
No.
Hasn't been on?
Mhm.
That's interesting.
About 2 seconds. Should turn green.
Okay, it's green now.
You're good.
Well, I'm not going to start over again.
They heard you. They heard
Yes,
it.
they heard you. Just makes it louder.
Okay, let's see, the light is very clear there and I'll pay attention.
No, they heard you.
We will double check. Okay,
Otherwise, we'll hear it.
all right, so moving on, no questions on the, and you can have questions later, put them up on the, if it's a general question, put it up on the group so that other people can benefit from it to answer, okay?
Mhm.
That's a good thing of doing, if you don't ask it right now. Good way of doing it. Okay, so remember, Brother Courtney was wondering what we do with our service time. Field worker schedule includes family time, personal devotion, study, and meditate. He was asking, by the way, not so much for personal reasons, but because he's the general manager and wondered to know how things were going to be organized there, and rightly so. Okay, that is quite a legitimate question. But I wanted to personalize it with them for different reasons to show how it would work, and also for other people, of course. Personal devotion, study, and meditation. This is part of our course, okay? We are going to somewhat formalize these things. Now, there's never going to be, I don't know how many prayers there are in the rosary, but there's never going to be 26 prayers that you say one after another. We don't go into that kind of thing. But we are going to formalize things to a degree, because if there's no system and structure and order, it's just hodgepodge, hit or miss now and then, whatever we remember to do. Okay, and we do have to formalize the structure to a certain extent. But with that said, it's very important that we not get into formalism, religious formalism, the Catholic idea of doing a certain amount of prayers and penances every day and so on. Okay. However, remember, while you might be critical of their works idea, the message is equally critical of those who would talk about faith and no works. Okay. And what do we know as faith in Davidians? Faith and works. Okay. It is faith and works. So there are works there, but we don't want to become legalistic people that have exactly this time for this, and you have to do it in this way, and so on. We're going to move kind of in that direction, and this is one of the things where it might seem, where's Brother Trevor going with this? That's a bit legalistic and formulistic there with all the schedules and plans and so on. But we have to be systematic and scientific. We're called to do this. But there has to be genuine, spontaneous, individual outpouring to the Lord. There has to be our own personal choice on these things. But the Lord actually prefers a free will offering of our time and our love and our interest, and saying that you will have this prayer time from this time to this. Okay, but we still have to do it in a systematic way, and that's enough right there for now. Service. How could we not be doing service to others? This is the Christian life that Christ led and that we are required to emulate. Yes, we will be doing that. And the service is not specifically aimed for our friends and as special people. You make a feast, and the world calls their friends to the feast. What is the modern name for a feast? Come on, tell me the truth. What is it called?
Buffet. Party.
Huh?
Party.
Say it.
A party?
Say it louder for
A
everyone. All right. You make a feast. You're correct. That's what the feast. That's what a feast is in modern language and understanding. You make a feast. You don't call your friends to it. Okay, that's not our way. It is the way of the world. Yes, it is. Okay. So service and service includes many things. The first thing many people think is going to a nursing home and visiting the old and the sick, and that's a very good thing too. Okay, we have to prioritize our time. That is a good work, and we should do that. Our work along that line should start in the household of faith. We should visit the old and the sick and so on among us, first of all, okay? And if you have the opportunity, never miss the opportunity to do that for others as well. But because we only have 24 hours a day in our life to serve the Lord each day, we have to prioritize on this. Okay, so while you might think the first thing is to go and visit the nursing home, that's only one thing, and there are many other service projects that are necessary, and we prioritize them, looking for the ones with that will be the most help to the individual physically, but also spiritually as well. We take the spiritual factors into account on the service, okay? And that's very important, brother. We always try to do at least two things at once, not where you're trying to do two things literally at once, but where one course of action is accomplishing many results. And we always try to do that, to have at least two good results, unless we're able to think of a way to get 3 or 4 good results moving at the same time. Okay, so that's our rule, by the way. That's our way of acting and thinking. Okay, training, continuing education. If you have a special trade or profession, your area, where you have special abilities that you use for the service of the Lord, it is necessary for you to keep up with them. Or in other cases, if you have general educational plans, it is necessary to move forward with that. Continuing education, that is part of our training and service, okay? And it counts toward the training and service hours. Okay, so training is a separate category as well. And there will be things that we deliberately train. It could be it could be physical things, it could be mental things, it could be abilities, speaking abilities, many different things. Okay, but the way we actually get better on these things is by doing training and so on. I envision people being trained in how to walk in difficult areas and not fall. And then, of course, I envision people learning to fall and not hurt themselves. After all, if we're going to be able to be thrust through and so on, we should not be surprised that we with a sword and not be hurt. We should be surprised that we could fall and not be hurt. That's a minor thing, but it's not so minor if you're the person who are prevented from being hurt by a fall. Self-care is part of our day. It is a necessary part of our day, and so is maintenance. Okay, so what I really wanted to talk about, of course, mainly was, do we have any questions, by the way? On yes, let's get other gain. Now, if you're thinking of the next question, go and get a microphone. It's over here, and then it's over here. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
The question was about the continuing education study. Is that what we're doing now? It applies to what we're doing now?
yes, for people on the university level, but not people who are working toward that. That would if you're working toward toward that level, then we want you to think of that as part of potentially part of your service and training time. Okay, yeah. It is a very important part of potentially, because there's many different combinations and way of doing this. Okay? And in the end, by the way, it is your responsibility in many things to fit how you do this. Homework for the course, work on your school course, on your secular school course, and so on. Brother,
Yes, my question is, as far as service is concerned, does it apply to you just going out, or can it be done electronically?
we will have specific things to say about this. Okay. Everything is, we're not leaving anything up in the air. This is nuts and bolts, practical detail. Do this, do this, do this. Okay. Or, lining up possibilities. So in answer to your question, as much as I could, we will have specific things. And there will be, when it comes to, what did you say? You said service. When it comes to service, we will have actual programs and goals. And then there'll be things that individuals have to do. Okay. Not in your case, you may not have children, but sorry, that's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, and that's a good point. Okay, talking about children. Okay, and people do think that my family, I need to run, I need to do stuff. Okay, well, you do it. If you do need to, if you do need to do it, that there's not going to be anything said. Okay, but that is not what we meant when we said family responsibilities, and children are the little children who have to be fed and taken care of, and so on. Okay, so Sister Norma.
Yes, we spoke on Monday or Tuesday. We spoke on Tuesday, and you asked me, was I actively in a class in training? Now, the what you sent to me, the information on that school is more in depth. How feasible is it for me right now to pursue my doctorate? Should I make this a priority versus, what I'm
not going to
pursuing?
answer that exactly what you should do. That will have to be between you and the Holy Spirit, the Lord, okay? But generally speaking, and see, we have to put everything together that's being said. And we're speaking with authority, brother. What generally said, we have to start thinking in a different way. We're thinking, and we don't have a second class. We're going to take our 10-minute intermission, talk, answer questions. Okay, that's my excuse for going 10 minutes over, maybe. We will go 10 minutes or so. We have to take the things that are being put. You don't have to, by the way. What I mean is, ideally, you will understand what we are saying about the time right now. We live in a time when everything is about to change. I've said this before, and let me be patient and kind. And I care about you very much.
Did not respond
Okay. So I'm sorry, but you asked a question that was more appropriate to your own personal exchange with me. But I'm going to answer it because you gave me an opportunity. You give me an opportunity for everyone. Okay. Brethren, what we have said to you about the future is true overall. We don't know the exact time, and in some ways we may be wrong about the future. It may be faster, not longer. is usually, oh, we'll extend. We said 5 years, well, we add another 2 years. Okay. We said 3 years, we get another year here added on. Okay, this is how the prophets and false prophets work. I want you to know that we may be wrong and things may happen sooner rather than later. But anyway, they're going to happen. I just put up a small post that, well, don't go there and look at it. But the point is, I really don't, there's no reason for you to waste time and look at these things. But, and certainly don't engage me on X, by the way. Thank you. I'm there preaching to Syrophoenicians under a different, they know I'm a minister, those who follow me closely, but that's not my role there right this moment. So you never know, in the long run, religious people are going to do the religious thing. But anyway, I just put up a post. OpenAI is releasing their some new things right now. They released, and this answers your question, but I know it's taking a long way to answer your question. But I said this before, though, by the way, brother. I explained that to you a few months ago, and you thought it was just far out high in the sky. But they're releasing O1 today, and O1 is the full multimodal AI that we have talked about. Now that's nice, and everybody will play with it on their phone and so on, and then you will become addicted to it and so on, and you won't know how to live life without it. But that's not a great thing. We'll deal with some of these AI and robot things coming up. But right now, we'll deal with the ethical principles, our principles involved. Right now, the important thing is that's just that's on their low level, the normal pricing tier of OpenAI. I think it's $20 a month or something like that. They also have one called, they're releasing it, ChatGPT Pro. The price level for that is $200 a month. Now, why do you think they can even dream of charging $200 when you can pull out your phone and have free AI? Okay, they're charging $200 because that is a multimodal, advanced AI, maximum intelligence, more intelligent than anything else right now. And you should know by what multimodal means, but it can see and it can hear. Okay, it can see and it can hear, and I'm not sure if it can generate an avatar, but it doesn't matter. That level of generating an avatar, a human looking avatar is right here. It's already here. And if they may separate it properly, it's just a see and hear multimodality. Okay. Once you have that multimodal intelligent, remember that we talked about the current ChatGPT 4 being a better medical diagnostician than doctors, than your average GP already. Okay, this has already happened months ago, 6, 8 months ago, a year ago. What is going to happen when you have a ChatGPT Pro level multimodal doctor or herbalist or anything else there, a teacher? You will have a teacher there on the screen with a, when we say avatar, I'm not sure if that, is there a better name of avatar for those realistic looking faces that talk to you and so on?
No.
Is that the right name?
Yeah, right there.
It's max headroom type thing, but for real. Okay, it is a computer generated person in the screen, looking at you, seeing you, and hearing you, and being able to analyze the emotions on your face better than human. Okay. There's a lot to say about that subject. I would avoid normally being on video, by the way. But we gave up everything. And you give up your mental privacy and you give up everything because you got to go all out. Okay. But old Trevor would have avoided that tremendously because I understand what that means. Okay. It means mind reading from your face. All right. So anyway. They may eventually restrict that somewhat, but your doctor needs to read your mind and your body and so on. So medical AI is going to have that for sure, and everybody's going to have it right now. Until the politicians start screaming about letting the average citizen see them in their lives. But anyway, what does that mean for people who want to get a doctorate or an advanced degree in something? What I have said, you have microphone? Go ahead.
You know, I went to the doctor recently and there's a prescription that I needed, but it was a prescription medicine. So I asked AI, where could I get this prescription from without going to the doctor? And it pointed me to this site called WISP.
What?
WISP. It pointed me to this site called WISP. And I signed up to WISP. And you see an avatar doctor comes up.
Really?
I spoke to the doctor.
Really?
And they filled the prescription and mailed it to me.
Oh. I didn't know.
So I signed up. And I didn't know about, so AI told me
I
everything what
don't
to
pay
do.
close attention. You might think I do, but I know the general trend and I watch for breakthroughs and things, but I did not know that. I'm not a bit surprised, really. Anyway, so right now I'm starting to feel, yeah, okay. And I'm a person, if I fall and hurt myself, I will laugh. Okay, anyway, all right, so interesting, Brother Courtney, very interesting, but we knew it was going to happen. Okay, I talked about this before, and we told you what's going to happen when you for the new people, young people who are in school, brethren, and you don't believe it right now, but young people who are in school are never going to have a job. Sorry, but that's the way it is. You're never going to have a job as a doctor or teacher or whatever. Why? The older, the more experienced doctors and teachers will survive the longest. They're established. For various reasons, they will continue to be there. But AI teachers are going to be the most amazing teachers that you have ever heard of. They are literally just going to take the country and the world by storm. One sense, it's a good thing. Young children everywhere. They did a study with a math tutor almost 2 years ago in Ghana. And the study was they used the AI there as a math tutor for the children, and they boosted up those children who were behind with the AI math tutor to where they were a little ahead of the regular children. Okay, that was not a multimodal AI. It was a text-based AI, and but it was still reasonable. The multimodal AI is a talking head in the screen who can see you. Same talking head every time, by the way. You get your doctor, you hook up with an AI doctor, and you will love him, and you will keep him forever. You would like to, because he gets so good. He saved your life, and so on. Anyway, and that, by the way, is why we're going to lose. The enemy can try taking away things and persecuting people, and the work will thrive. But when you start bribing people with material abundance and everything you want, all your dreams fulfilled now, what do you need God for? What do you need religion for? All your dreams, including a fake eternal life, is what they're offering. Okay? Truly, we're coming down the pike, and those people who know these things are, wow, look at that. That's what I want. And they don't have any interest in God and things of the religious nature at all. Okay, so anyway, so what that means for people who want to go to school now is, or actually no, but what that means for people, young people in school, and you brethren need to think about it and teach this. Do not discourage people who want to go their own way. It is not our job to control and dictate and command people. Okay, we tell people the things, and then they have the freedom to go and do whatever they want. And remember that, brethren, it is a requirement for teachers and ministers of ovation. We do not try to force and manipulate people, but it is our responsibility as teachers to say the truth, whether they will hear it or not, whether they hear it or forbear. We speak the truth, and we speak it kindly and in the right way, and we don't have to repeat over and over. But the fact is that there will be no jobs for those who are several years away from graduating. 2 years away from graduating, you're guaranteed not to get a job in most graduates are not going to get a job in the medical field, the teaching field, and other fields. And I haven't examined it in detail, but who wants to look in the detail of such tragedy that is coming? Okay, but we know it's coming. Okay, these things are going to happen, and you can broaden it out. Everyone will know everything as we get closer. You're just hearing it a little bit, just a little bit before most people hear it. But what does that mean for us? It means that when you're teaching and you have young people like, should I go to school? And they want to go to school, and you say, well, here's the facts. The patient is saying X, Y, and Z. And put it like that, say patient, because we're speaking with authority on this, brother. But and then they can make their decisions, either for or against. And those young people who do want to go to school, don't discourage them. They can do what they want to do, and and that's their God-given religious liberty to do that. Okay, and be very careful about that. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for all the people who are going to be unemployed. You're going to be conflicted on this psychologically yourself. There's going to be massive conflicts because Brother Trevor said AI is bad, but it saved my life, and it's this and it's that, and so on. Okay, yes, it's both true. Okay, both things are true, and sometimes you have to look at things and say, yes, there's good things on this side and good things on this side, but we have to see overall what our stand is. Okay. And overall, our stand is that we were okay with a freeze at current level, a very hard freeze that just lock it down right here. But you know what? They'll go another distance. 3 months, 6 months, they go another distance and another distance. It is the wrong thing where we're going. It is a bad thing. It is worse than you think it is. And it's so wonderful. We have so much wonderful things coming, Brother Trevor, and educational opportunities. And by the way, this is already happening. I've seen people gush on what good teachers AI is. Okay? It's an amazing opportunity to learn, and soon anything you want to know, produced in a very high quality way by a live teacher for all intents and purposes. A live teacher there, distant teacher in your screen is at your beck and call, maybe for $200 a month, but it's going to come down, by the way. You thought it was a lot, though, but why would Mr. Sam Altman think that he could get away with that? Because it's worthwhile in a way, okay? And it's only going to get more worthwhile. And I could cry, but I will laugh instead, okay? Yes.
And most of us today who do attempt to see a doctor are only seeing a nurse practitioner.
And that's how it's going to work, by the way. I believe, and this is my own personal view, but I believe, because we don't worry about the implementation details, that's not our real concern, but I believe that's how it's going to work. You will have one doctor, one older, very experienced doctor, supervising, just like with Brother Courtney, supervising a number of AI doctors, okay? And his supervision will be sitting in front of a screen, watching the screen. That's the kind of supervision he's going to be, watching them interact. Because they're going to be moving fast. He's going to be heavily loaded. It is not humanly possible for a person to keep up with the AI. But that's how officially, legally, it will come in. It will be under the doctor's name, but the real practitioner will be an AI of post MD level, okay? And your regular MD he has to be a very high level specialist. They may have a team of people supervising the AI, but it gets crazy fast there. And the thing is, that's coming. And if you can do that with a doctor, which is one of our higher, more difficult professions, you can do that with everything. If you have ever had a job, or if you do have a job right now that can be done by from home through the internet, guess what? The AI can do that job just as well as you starting about the mid to end of next year. And it will be doing that job for this reason. Even if they have to pay $200 a month for a version of ChatGPT Pro, it's a good deal to replace you and probably two other workers at the same time. Okay, our members don't know what's coming. You tell them. Okay, it's your responsibility to tell them because they really didn't believe Brother Trevor or remember Brother Trevor the first time. And everybody will know this as we go along. In the advanced countries, the Western countries, they will buy off the population just like they did with COVID. Right away, they will be, what was it called in COVID? The money that you got.
The check, a stimulus.
Stimulus.
What was it?
Government stimulus.
Stimulus.
Yeah.
Well, they call it the UBI now, Universal Basic Income. It's another name for that is welfare from the government, but it will come and they will shovel that out and people will take their money, come home, be happy, go to Walmart, go to the dispensary and come home and they are happy, happy people. And it's an age of abundance and happiness that Satan is working to win in a grand way, a sneak attack in a direction that we may not have fully expected. But we're not defenseless, brethren. We're not totally asleep. And the game is not finished. It's not done till it's done. So, but if you are complacent, if you are overconfident, if you think the Lord is going to do your work for you, it's wrong. He won't. And it is not so simple as what you think. But anyway, that's why we're here. That's why we're moving forward. We have a limited amount of time. We have months to do what we didn't do in years, and we're going to do it now. We're going to move in very special ways. We're going to move without the normal pullbacks. We're going to move more on an emergency basis, as it were, which is what the Lord wants. We've been too Laodicean, lackadaisical, easygoing, but we want to hold on to our old ways. We don't want to unlearn. Unlearning is hard. We don't want to do that. Hold on. I want the old ways. The old ways got you to Mount Carmel. What happened to Mount Carmel? Brother Hadif did his work, okay? And he was a great man and greater than you understand. But the people there did not hold on. They lost. Most of the people there lost out. Fact. Just a fact. And Mount Carmel as a whole, as a place, the association, the General Association, apostatized and failed. This is a historical fact. And we want to hold on to our current ways of thinking, our current ways of moving. We have to have new methods, new ways of moving, new ways of training, learning, a new level of dedication, a complete dedication. And when we want to be halfway in, halfway out, or the young people want to go to university and so on, let them go, teach them the things that we have to teach them, but don't, you need to understand yourself what the truth is, okay? And the truth is, time is apparently at this point shortening faster than we expected. Now, with that said, the Lord can put the brakes on things. Okay, He can put the brakes on things and just freeze things right in its place. That not coincidentally is what the WPC, the World Pause Coalition, is trying to do. Okay, freeze things right here. We need a breather, brethren. The winds need to be held. God knows what's going to happen. But anyway, it's moving crazy. I'm going to say one more thing since Sister Norma kindly got me on the subject, and you are fine. Okay, don't worry. But I just had to use the opportunity. Okay, I have to say one more thing. There's something that we have been watching, and it's my pinned page on X. I left it up there. It's old. It's from the last year, and it talks about something called recursive self-improvement. If you have, you know how we have AI, we have smart human being, let's call them programmers, doing this, right? That's how we got it. Smart human programmers. Well, what if AI is as smart as a human being? What if AI is as smart as any human programmer? It is just basically, it's moving at that level. It's crossing over right now. What does that mean? It means that the AI can start improving itself. Okay, all that crazy Skynet type thing is possible, but the AI corporations know that very well, and they have many different safeguards. We're good. We're taking it. We're being very safety conscious, and they are within a certain range. But the point is, you're there at the point. We are there now at the point where AI is moving to be intelligent enough and capable enough of improving itself as well as a human programmer, with one little catch. And you know that catch. What is that catch? The computer thinks 1,000 times faster than a human being. But that's not true 1,000 times. The computer can think 1,000,000 times faster than a human being. And that's the problem with recursive self-improvement. Okay? You have all these very, very intelligent, human, fast-thinking AI programmers out there busy working to improve themselves. Okay? It doesn't work quite so simply. I'm using this as an easy to understand example. It's true what I'm saying, but the actual process is different in different ways. But it amounts to what I'm saying very accurately and correctly. And we've been watching this thing for a long time, but we crossed the line there. And that's another post I put up there, which there's no point in looking at it or for it. But yesterday I saw an article there where the center, the group that is monitoring this was showing that we are crossing the line there in capability and cost, where it's cheaper and better to use a computer programmer and an AI programmer to improve AI. Okay? And this is a true thing. Now, it doesn't replace humans completely at this point, but it does something that was talked about a year, 2 years ago. You begin to get what is called 10x programmers, and then you get 100x programmers. One human being, one's really, really Elon Musk class human being, can have the effect of 10 or even 100 or more programmers, because he's got all the AI help underneath him. Okay, and that's the 10x and 100x programmers. We're there. Okay, we're there, and the recursive self-improvement has started. And anyway, it is what it is, and we are going to we're going to stand our ground to the very end. Brethren, if there's only us Davidians left standing at the end, and the whole world is corrupted by the things that the AI will provide, we will still stand. I believe that the Lord has a band of people who will still stand against these things. And that is who we are, and that is what we are moving to develop with this course. Davidian field workers who are living epistles of the truth. Sister Danita, I know you wanted to say something.
I was just thinking that I did not read the article, but yesterday I saw an article headline that said one of the top safety research people at OpenAI, she quit.
Quite a few actually have quit. That's just the latest one you're seeing.
She quit, and she said the reason was that his trajectory for putting these things out was scaring her.
Yeah, and that's a good thought, sister. And I'm glad you know about it, and others people know. And it's WPC requirement. It is our duty to warn people a little bit about this. Okay, and what Sister Danita was saying is the latest safety. OpenAI had something called a super alignment safety team, and their job was to work on the safety aspects of super AI. Okay, most of the team quit. Okay, that's one of the latest ones right there. They quit for a reason, brethren, and they're semi-gagged with money in their throat, mouth, and a non-disclosure agreement. And if they speak, they lose their money. And so they want to speak, and some of them are hinting and speaking a little bit. Really, one of them, if they would just speak and get sued by OpenAI to bring more attention to it, that needs to be put out. So all 32 people who follow me on Twitter would understand that. But the point is that. But the point is that that is a serious situation. The safety people are kind of falling apart by what they see. Well, we've seen there many people like me, older people who know about these things, and you didn't hear about us, but we were there. Okay, people knew about this. We see it happening now, and we're not very happy about it. But that is true. What is going on? Okay, Skynet is a real thing in a sense that the people worry about it, and they worry. Their worries are true, but their worries are also only part of the thing. They're more. The situation is worse than what is Skynet. There's other things on both sides of Skynet that are coming up, and it's Skynet is the. I have not seen the movies, okay, and there was no book to read when I was young, but it's from the Terminator movies, okay. The Skynet is a AI system that comes alive
Yes.
and takes over the world and so on, and I think his name was John Conway. I forget what his name.
So they
That's
actually named
JC. They put JC for a purpose, but he has to come back in time. I don't know. The Terminator comes back in time to stop JC from saving the world from Skynet. Okay, that's about as much as I know besides Arnold Schwarzenegger. But see, I try to be, and I commend this to you, brethren. Be slightly aware of what's going on without having to waste time and watch the thing. Okay, yeah.
I'm scared that they actually named it Skynet.
That is the name in the movie. That's where the
in
name
the
came
movie.
from.
Oh.
Yeah, in the sorry, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying that.
No. They would never dream of that. People would
Would rise up in revolt.
a very poor move marketing wise. All right, we really have to wrap. I'm sorry, brethren. You have a mic? Yeah.
Some months ago, maybe 3 months ago, when before I came here, I was looking at the internet. Now, there's the United Nations, and the current president for this country gave his last speech. A lot of it was very profound. One of it is what you were mentioning a while ago, that he and other world governments see the necessity to have a delegation, to put some regulation on this AI. They see that the way and speed of how AI is going in the direction, if they don't do something before, which when I say before, I mean at a certain point, then they will not be able.
They think they have more time though than they have.
Right. So this is the next thing, because they're saying if it reaches a certain point, they cannot do anything to regulate it again. So we are talking about it now here, but the world government.
Oh, the world government.
Yeah. It's the United Nations. So what I'm saying is that so this is a challenge to every Christian.
But we don't see the world government on this side of the kingdom, you know.
Yeah, I know that. But what I'm saying that they are discussing about AI and
they've been discussing world government since World War I, you know. And so that's a continuing thing. But we know that at a certain point, these things will come about in certain ways, okay? What is leading up now, be careful about trying to fit the Ukrainian war into the Assyrian war. Okay, it is part of a long lead up, part of the Cold War and so on. Okay, we understand that. But what happened, I'm not you personally, but this is a mistake that many Davidians made. They were so excited when the Ukrainian war started, the Russian-Ukrainian war. And it's not the Middle East, and it's not the same situation. Okay, so that is interesting, and the fact that they know about AI is that is something that we do understand. But don't be concerned about world government. That is not something that is going to happen right now. That's not our message right now. Okay, that will happen after Babylon comes up and so on in the kingdom period. Okay, though I know we have the Confederacy coming up before the kingdom period. We understand that, but the Confederacy is Assyria, so not world. Yes, yeah. The bottom line here is they may, and that may be how the Lord actually works, by the way, that it may be revealed that behind the scenes we were working on this and we have a comprehensive freeze on AI and ready to go in place. And it may be that happens. We understand that. And there is things where the Lord can stop this in its tracks. Okay, so, and that's, we were hoping to call attention to those things too and encourage that. But barring that, and look, we can't assume we know what the Lord is going to do precisely, what's going to happen. Don't assume that. Don't be complacent. It's a mistake. But right now, we're far enough along in the way. If we even froze right here, if we have a massive blow from AI, okay, just right here. You haven't fully understood all the ways that AI can be harmful and helpful. It will do both in a massive, massive way. Right now, we are here with AI this coming year with ChatGPT 01 and ChatGPT Pro. We are here right now into the far future, science fiction, Skynet future, basically, already. And it could be that they will do this. The problem right now is it doesn't appear that, and we're not into politics and so on, but we observe these things from a distance, and it's quite correct for us to be able to put out this information to you, by the way. What we observe is the Trump administration getting ready to have an AI race. They're already in an AI race with China. The AI race was always, if it continued, it was always going to turn into a war, a hot war. Before you have a hot war, traditionally you have a trade war, where you do tit for tat trade sanctions. So it works like this. I'm at war with you on the AI front. I forbid you to have the best computer chips. We did that to China. Okay, we did that to them. I don't know all the reasons and so on, but I do know that, superficially and very likely deeper, the reason is because we want to beat them in the AI race, and we want to hold them back. So China has been retaliating in trade for that from that time, and the latest retaliation is a ban on rare earths. Rare earth minerals are very valuable special elements that we use for high-tech things. Gallium and give me another rare earth.
Lithium.
Lithium to an extent. I don't know. I think they did ban lithium exports too, but I'm not positive. But anyway, they have banned these things. They've sanctioned us in return. Tit for tat. The trade war is beginning. Okay, real trade war. And the problem with having a world agreement on this, and this is the problem that a deep problem, is that once you get to a certain extent in the war, in the AI race, the AI war, which is not a hot war, once you get to a certain point, you get locked in. You get locked into where you can't break out of the vicious cycle of the tit for tat, retaliation, the bad feelings, the crazy presidents involved.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't get, sometimes you get locked in and you can't break loose for all the goodwill in the world. And that's historically, that's from a strategic historical background. What we have now today, we're not saying. Okay, I'm hoping that our leaders will be work together in a responsible way and have a world pause in AI, hard world pause, freeze actually. Okay, that's what I hope, and that's what our official position is. And we encourage. We had a poster in our Philippines demonstration, which I really appreciate, where we had a picture of China and the United States joining hands on the issue. Okay, and that's what is necessary. China and the United States. We grew up worrying about Russia, but it's China that is the competition right now, and it's the two of us. And others right behind, by the way. Many right behind. It's not so simple as you think, but right now it's China and the United States. And we need to reach hands across to each other. And if there's a precedence for this, there's nothing strange or bad. We did this with nuclear weapons. We had a non-proliferation agreement on nuclear weapons. It was very, very helpful, brother. It's a good thing. And it didn't hurt our religious freedom either. You can suppress AI without suppressing people's religious freedom. It could happen. We'd like it to happen. We should pray for this to happen. And we should work for it to happen, by the way, okay? It's our duty to pray and work. But at this point, we don't see any public indications of this process happening more than the UN Secretary General talking about it now and then, and other people too. Okay, very good things that they have said, but what have they done? And if maybe they're doing things in secret, but what we know in public is we started the trade war, tit for tat. And we are in the AI competition phase of this race right now. Anyway, sorry to go on like this, and but I think it was valuable because you have to understand that it doesn't matter whether you want to go all out or not. If you do want to go all out for the right reasons, or you love the Lord, you want to serve the Lord, and you want to do your part in the work, that's good. But if you don't, it really doesn't make any difference. Your life is about to be turned topsy-turvy, mostly for the worse, but in some ways for the best, in better ways. And everything is going to change very quickly from the middle of next year on. Things are just going to change, and maybe not. Maybe the winds will be held, and they will be tightened. They'll be tightened down, and we pray that, and we hope that, and we know what the message teaches on this. Okay, so it's not as if we are saying this is doom and gloom, brethren. We're all dead, and so on. Not saying that, but it's not so clear, brethren, where we're going. Okay, and you be complacent there at the end and see where we're going. Okay, all right. So enough, and thank you, brother, for giving me this break here. But in one sense, I'm not. I'm only mostly guilty here of taking up your time. Okay. All right, so let's close with the next person in line. Yes.
What part of which are dependent? We come to you in Jesus' name. Thank you very much. Putting information with us to servant. We pray that you would give us a word of grace and strength, understanding and knowledge, to be able to move forward with the information that we can put into practice. In Jesus' name, we
I turned it off.